So it could be, are you nervous about getting pregnant? Are you nervous about having a baby? Do you know the right things to eat?
Yeah.
You drink alcohol? Can you exercise? All these different things we could do educational posts around.
Hmm.
It's like it's 10 past 10 and neither of them are here. It's interesting. It's okay. We'll just keep going. So maybe we could start doing more educational nutritional posts. If it's like, so you're 6 months pregnant, nothing fits anymore. You're fed up of wearing the same pair of yoga pants and your husband's sweatshirt. What do you do to make yourself feel feminine?
Yeah.
Take a
You
hot
know,
bath, put Epsom salts in it, put some flower petals on the wood, or light a candle, and just relax. Things like that.
yeah. There are plenty of websites with educational and exactly what we were talking about. The only thing right now is because sometimes they don't approve of certain companies. Um, I'm kind of gathering their idea or their business aspect or outlook, but still sometimes it confuses me what I can share and
Yeah, and
what
we have
can I
to get
not.
permission because they're very, very unique in
Yeah,
their outlook, which doesn't make it
yeah,
wrong. It's just unique.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. No, yeah, of course. I
because I know
don't.
you suggested a website the other day, and she said, "Oh, I've already said I don't like these people."
Oh, yeah, yeah,
So we
yeah,
must remember when they say no that not to bring it back up again.
yeah.
But then they love that birthing video of the lady.
And the thing is, I go through so many websites that sometimes I forget that it was the one that they didn't like.
You have to just sort of delete that one and just, or even put a post-it note when you open a file or something and say not XYZ. Because
Okay.
it doesn't look, it kind of looks like we're not listening when they say we've told you.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I know.
Yeah. Oh gosh,
Okay.
gust of wind just in. Wow. Um, so we could do some more posts around the pain points. So if we go through, let's just go through the strategy session paperwork here. Okay, you can. Oh, wrong screen. 1 second. Okay, so you can see that now, yeah.
Yeah.
So we could go here, tap into the pain, pay attention to how the feeling. You don't want to crawl into a dark hole. So exactly what are the needs of your pregnancy right now? So we could ask questions around what do you think are the greatest needs in the first trimester, the second trimester, the third trimester? And we could ask questions
Hmm.
because we're trying to get engagement, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Pregnancy, what you thought.
Rion mentioned she'd do blogs a while ago,
Yeah,
and
I don't think I've seen anything though.
no, I haven't either. But she said she had a lot of information to share.
She did. She did.
I don't know how to like. Should I just kind of email her
Just
once
have
in a
to ask
while?
her again and just say, hey, could I get those documents so that we can turn them into blogs for you?
Okay,
Um,
and she can just hand us the writing, and we just
yeah,
create
we
blogs.
can
Yeah.
absolutely do
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. No, for sure we can do that.
So I didn't mean to interrupt, but there's a
No,
few
no, it's
things
fine
right
because
now.
there's probably a lot of this stuff that we could be recycling that she's already written. You're absolutely right.
Hmm. Yeah.
So what specific plans do you have in place for achieving the birth you want? You know, so maybe the post might be what does your ideal birth look like? If you could have a fairy godmother wand, what would birth look like? And people might say that it doesn't hurt, that I don't get cut, that I don't get any stretch marks.
Yeah.
You know, there's all those sort of stories that, in some ways, stretch marks from a loving husband are a sign of beauty because the stretch marks happen because the boobs
Yeah.
grew, the bump grew,
Yeah.
and you look at them, and rather than like saying, "Oh," you actually say, "Wow, they
Yeah.
came because we made a baby," right?
Yeah.
So sometimes if we could find, a picture of a lady with stretch marks and just
Oh,
say, to the world, this is a flaw, but to a mom and a dad, these are the stripes of beauty or something like that.
mm-hmm.
That would be an amazing post. I'm recording this as well.
Okay.
How much time, money have you invested so far in creating the birth you dreamed of?
Mm-hmm.
It's just saying a lot of people save up and they buy the perfect stroller, the perfect crib, the perfect car seat. These are all well and good and they'll be useful, but the experience itself often is a once in a lifetime. Even if you have multiple children, each experience is a once in a lifetime. You know, have you thought about investing in that experience? So we could talk about that. Are you 100% confident about these investments? Are they paying off? That's kind of another question. What fears do you have? How does this affect your day? I mean, people, like, how long is it? How normal is it for the baby to be asleep and not move? How many weeks should you be before you start to feel like that flutter or the kick? Or it's normally about 8 to 12 weeks, isn't it, before you'll start to feel anything at all? And you don't, and a lot of people don't even show for the first couple of months. I mean, it's okay to say that you said you didn't even know you were pregnant for a while, right? And with Royce,
2.5 months. That's crazy.
I mean, you could write as Sanctuary, but then come back in, write as Anna, and just say, sorry, how old were you when Royce
I was 19?
Okay, and just say, hey, I was 19 and I didn't even know I was pregnant for 2.5 months. I just carried on normal life and just thought I was putting on weight or something.
Yeah.
Was that? I don't know if that was the case.
That was the case. Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but
oh no, yeah, that was the case.
And probably a 19-year-old is not their ideal client unless they have rich parents, in which case they might want the best for their child, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Debbie was married at 19, so it wasn't as if it was illegal.
Yeah.
If you work out the chronological dates of the Bible, Jesus's mother Mary could have been 12 years old.
Oh wow!
It's quite likely that she was very, very young.
Yeah. No, even today there's still quite a few groups or communities that marry young.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily religious. It's just a community kind of thing that they marry at age 19, 20.
Neither of these people are here. That is so strange. And
You
I'm
wanna
just checking the waiting room. There's nobody flashing to say to come in. They haven't responded to my Facebook post.
Oh.
And that's so strange. Anyway, we're using the call, whether they've joined it or not. So let's start doing different posts like that. I mean, I did a post on the weekend and I boosted it on Instagram. That's why we didn't get any Facebook likes. And I was like, why didn't we get any Facebook likes? It's like, it was on Instagram.
Okay.
But we reached like nearly 700 people.
Wow.
And so that was impression. So we paid to reach 700 people to get them in front of people's eyes.
Yeah.
And 6 people clicked on the link. And it's like, oh, I want to get those 6 people. But of course, because of Instagram or Facebook, you don't get the fact that they clicked on the link. And this is where you probably heard the phrase Facebook pixels come in, retargeting.
Okay.
So those 6 people who clicked on the link, we have their data. We don't know who they are, but we have their data so that we could retarget to those 6 people. We're not in a position to do that yet because I don't really have a paid budget for advertising. I mean, all the Facebook posts, I'm not charging Jay and Rayon for. They're just coming out of my fee, if you like, just to help them out, which is okay. But typically we'd be running a campaign now where we'd have like a $20, $30 a day budget for Facebook ads. So we would constantly be out there trying to attract the right kind of people. We're not quite ready to do that because they need to master their strategy sessions.
Okay.
It's kind of like dating. There are certain guys or girls that are just very good, I don't know, excuse the expression, but getting people into bed. And it's like, how did I end up here? And they have a way of I guess manipulating is the right word, but the wrong word. Just leading people into a course of action.
Yeah.
So, and I often refer to sort of social media as like dating. It's like first base, second base, third base. How do they know, like, and trust you? So the know is the Facebook page is there, the website's there. They may see a post. Wow, it's suddenly gone super windy. They may have heard somebody else talk about, birthing. They might go do a Google search around birthing and see if they come up. The second base is they like the Facebook page. They might sign up for the email. They might get the giveaway on the homepage. They might subscribe to the YouTube video. Third base is really where they have an actual call, flesh to flesh with these people on Zoom or a phone call, or meet them if they were in Oregon. And it's that third base call, if you like, because most people don't go straight to a strategy session without knowing who these people are. Talk about a lot about this in the boot camp, is that 70% of people would rather check you out online before they speak to you. So that first base, second base is exactly what you're doing. Is like it's like a buffet, and at a restaurant, you go and you look, and it's so attractive before you've even eaten the food. It just looks beautiful. So you're happy to line up. You're happy to pay $25 to get the buffet because it looks so pretty. The food may or may not be great quality, but you're there. You paid for it. You'll eat. So that's kind of what we're trying to do with this strategy here: is get them to eat. And the eat is talking to Jay or Rion. And hopefully they're masterful enough to be able to talk, create a wonderful aura of rapport. And at that point, people are like, there's no way I can have this baby without having these people in my life. Right? That's what we want. And then obviously the money for a lot of people is a big deal. For some people, maybe not. But, you know, when we've talked about how much people have spent on IVF or maybe surrogacy or all these different things that have got them pregnant in the first place, $5,000's not that much money. I don't know how much a car seat costs. Maybe we could find a blog about how much does it cost to have a baby. And when you add in a year's worth of diapers, and there'll be blogs about that, nutritional supplements that moms might have, yoga, clothing.
Finance should be touched, but good. I thought it was appropriate to.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the questions is how much have you spent so far on getting to where you've gotten to, right?
Yeah. So
we could talk about that. And it could well be that they bought birthing courses, like meditation courses, or birthing yoga, or aquarobics, because they can do water exercises because they're a bit heavy to be on land. There's all these things that probably people have spent money on, or they've had a baby already and it wasn't that great an experience. You know, they felt cheated. There's one story that Jay talks about in her testimony about, I can't remember the girl's name now, I should do, but the baby was slightly preemie. They C-sectioned the baby for weeks. The baby wasn't settled, didn't sleep, or was crying. There was no energy because the baby was brought out in an unfriendly way, and the baby's energy was out of sync. Whereas the second time round, she worked with Jay. They went through a natural pregnancy. Everything was beautifully bonded and holistic, and different baby, right? Because it was done nicely. Done nicely is not the right word, but done in a way that she controlled and had experience and control around what that baby would look like.
Yeah.
So that's really what we're trying to get to with this strategy session, is to show people. I don't think they're coming because it's 10:22. Anyway, we'll send them the video and say, here's your session. But that's what we got to get over in the social media.
Okay.
And that's why those recent pictures of Rion have been beautiful, because it's her holding her grandchild, right?
Yeah.
I noticed she created an Instagram account called Midwife Rion, and like 93 people have followed her, and she hasn't created one post yet.
Wow.
And it's like,
yeah,
obviously there's a hunger for people to see what you're going to post.
Yeah.
And she's followed like 160 people, and 90 of them are followed back or whatever, but she hasn't posted yet.
Would you want me to follow for them on Instagram, or?
Yes, on the Sanctuary one, for sure. Yeah, we want to find as many ideal moms or parents, if you like. And it could be same sex. So not necessarily dads, but typically dads and moms. That's the bulk of it. I wrote to that mom last night, I copied you on it. Jasmine, who's a paid influencer, who could be the ambassador of the brand. I mean, she's got 100,000 people reach. And if she was to just Facebook Live with Jay and Rion explaining why she loves them so much, telling people why they should work with her, and then she sends a link and she gets paid for doing that, that's totally great. So I wrote her last night, so hopefully she'll write back and I can have a call with her and agree some numbers. And that might work too, because their reach is 100 or so people. I mean, it's not big unless we pay for it. So we need 500 people on that Facebook page, at least.
Okay. But it looks like they're quite getting really good to compare to other companies. I feel like there's quite a healthy grow, I guess.
Yeah, it's if we're trying to reach North America, like California to Washington State to Florida to Washington, D.C., I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know how many millions of people, but I mean, the ideal number for that website, for that Facebook page should be about 1,000 people, really.
Okay.
And
Do you want to hashtag? I mean, so far I've been California, Oregon, but do you want me to
well,
hashtag?
that's their time zone. So California, Washington, Oregon is like their coast, the Pacific
Yeah.
Northwest type
Mhm.
people. I mean,
Do
Jay
you
was brought up.
hashtag it, or should I?
I mean, Jay's family is, oh no, Rion's family is from Pennsylvania. So it's completely the opposite coast. So she has a working knowledge of living on the East Coast of America.
Mhm.
And her parents were Pennsylvania Dutch or sort of Amish. So very
Oh,
traditional, very Mennonite, extremely old school.
yeah,
And that was how Renee was brought up. Rion was brought up.
that's
And then she
interesting.
dated a Jewish boy, and they ended up, getting a Volkswagen camper van and touring the US kind of thing. Very hippie.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Wow.
I don't know if you've listened to them. There's two videos that I interviewed Jay and Rion for an hour
Oh,
each.
you know what? And it was written. It was typed. I think there was something like this. That's right.
Yeah, I had it all transcribed. My next job, actually, when I find some extra time, is to write much deeper stories about the two of them, and I'm behind on doing that.
Okay. You know
Um,
where I got confused sometimes? Who's talking and who is at, like, because it didn't say like Jay or Rayon or
oh,
you.
really?
Yeah, and so I kept reading. I'm like, oh man, I'm getting confused because I
Well,
was.
there's a video that goes with it. So when you
Okay.
open the file, you can do text or you can do text and audio. So you might want to read it and listen, and then you know for sure. It'd be well worth spending an hour on each of those to do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah, and then
You mentioned something. It is going to an iCloud. Um,
yeah. So what that does is on because you're an Android user on the phone,
yeah, yeah,
because Apple have photo sharing. So
yeah.
they've sent me some pictures, literally just iPhone to iPhone.
Okay.
So then we just need to upload those and put them into Dropbox or something.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Arnhem has an iPad downstairs which is logged in as me, which
Okay.
is why I have to be always careful about my Facebook messages because a lot of people see them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Text is fine because text is only on my phone,
Yeah.
but that's why WhatsApp is a great tool for, because again it's only on a phone. But
Yeah.
yeah, if there's any iCloud for Sanctuary, if you just get Arnhem to upload them from the iPad
Okay.
to a Dropbox folder, so you could use those.
Okay.
Yeah. They haven't even looked at the message, so they're obviously doing something completely different. And then you could talk about paternity leave and how much, like in Scandinavian countries now, I believe dads can get a year off work.
Yeah.
So we could talk about paternity leave, maternity leave.
In Germany, 2 years.
So yeah, I mean, talk about what people, and school systems in Scandinavia have some of the brightest kids, and yet they're the least. They don't send kids to school till like 5, right? Because they let them be children for longer.
Oh, wow. That's so interesting.
And whereas in England, kids go to school at like 3.5. So yeah,
Wow.
and even like
I'm impressed how much you know, by the way. Sorry. Every time you speak, I was like, oh my gosh, you know so much. It's so interesting to listen to you because you know so much.
I'm a serial learner,
That's so funny.
and
That suits you. Yeah. It's
I
just
mean, and I also try and
you
read,
ask me to talk, I'm like, wow, that's great
yeah.
ideas.
And when I get into the mindset of my clients, I mean, I really spend a lot of time thinking about who they are and what we should be talking about.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So yeah, no, it's cool. We could talk about relaxation, music, essential oils, the best body butter to rub on your tummy to stop stretch, to try and help stop stretch marks. Even like lingerie. I mean, there's probably, truthfully, I have no idea. But there are probably better support pants. I actually have no idea. But there are probably, we could maybe do some research around what's the best undergarments to wear while you're pregnant or not wear.
Yeah.
The skimpy thong that might have looked great when you were dating.
Yeah.
you may not even see it when you're pregnant because the bump,
Yeah.
you know, you can't see it.
These topics are catchy. I find these topics sometimes grab attention.
Yeah, I mean, foot massaging.
Something that you don't think really,
I
but
remember Debbie when she was pretty pregnant. She couldn't like cut her toenails because she couldn't reach.
yeah,
I
yeah,
remember like massaging her feet and cutting her toenails. I remember shaving her legs just before she went into birth because she just, you know, just can't reach, right?
yeah, yeah.
So there's things like that. Is it okay to get waxed while you're pregnant? I mean, you could get, I don't want to get too intimate about the birth area, but you know, a lot of people probably get waxed just before they have a baby. I mean, truthfully, I don't know. But,
I hope they don't mind, but I think that's a really catchy things too.
Well, I mean, these people are older. They've seen and been there and done it with everybody. Whereas the ideal mom that they're talking to is like 25 to 40, let's just say.
Yeah.
And probably, you know, regularly has bikini waxes, wears hunter boots, you know, shops at La Senza or Holt Renfrew or Nordstrom, you know, drives a Subaru, you know, has a Coach purse, husband's potentially a professional. They do lunch rather than make lunch. They will go out and have dinner 3-4 times a week. They'll go to the theater, they go to the movies. I mean, these are the kind of people that'll drop $5,000, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's
great.
That's we've got to get into the mindset of who that ideal audience is. So you, Gemma, I mean, I'm just thinking about people like Arnhem, too young. Paige is 31, so technically Paige could be, but she's a home bird. But you know, organic cooking is probably a big deal. Maybe non-meat diets. You know, a lot of people are going to a more of a plant-based diet. These are all posts that, you know, could be makes them like you just want to keep going back to their page because there's just so much useful information, and it gets to the point that they're so trusted that they talk to you about anything. I mean, people's like, you know, what if I pass gas when I'm having, you know, contraction or even worse? I mean, all of these things, there's probably any number of horror stories from ladies giving birth, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's got to be like, and that's where the Facebook group will be really useful to them, is that, you know, you're not going to talk about that on Facebook, but you could in a private group.
Okay.
And the other mums in that private group would totally identify with that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a client who's, it's called Waxology, and all they do is waxing. And, her name is Sandra. She's here in Langley. And her Instagram is so funny because it's kind of on the edge. I mean, she did a post the other day. She said, as an esthetician, I get to see more vaginas in a week than you'll see in a lifetime. And it's like, okay. And then yesterday she had a picture of like 2 Barbie dolls, and one Barbie doll has its like legs up in the air and the other Barbie doll is in the middle doing the waxing.
That's like,
that is funny. It's kind of a little bit on the edge funny for Jane Rowan, probably.
Yeah.
But we have to remember we're trying to attract the ideal audience that isn't the flip-flop wearing granola, because we say that on the homepage. This is not just for granola moms. I mean, there are granola moms, invariably they don't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because they choose to live a more simple life.
Yeah.
And we want to attract people with money. Now, let's just say your sister-in-law in Quebec.
Yeah.
I mean, money is nothing to her. I mean, she has lots of it, right?
Yeah.
And she'll be willing to pay for the experience of an incredible, in this instance, a birth experience from the right professional.
That's right. Yeah.
To be deemed the right professional, you have to come across that way in social media.
Yeah.
Be that funny, approachable, nothing phases me, I've seen it all, been there, done it person, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And these 2 ladies have been there, seen it, done it. They were both young rebels. They both, you know, kicked butt, you know, in their teens and 20s against society in quite avant-garde ways for the era.
Yeah.
And that's what makes them who they are, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the fact that they're swimming against the status quo of medical practices is because they are rebels in the maternity world, in the right sense, because they're they're not bra burning human rights, women need a vote kind of advocates, which was the case in the 70s, 80s, I guess. What they're really saying is women have a voice, women have the choice. The medical system is not giving them that choice. That's just not right. We know how to give you the experience that you need.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it looks like. That's where we got to go with the social media. Now everything's up and built. We got to go deeper.
Yeah, I got it.
So yeah, and I've recorded it. So I'll send it to them and just say, Anna and I, use the time to go deep on social media strategy. I mean, on the share my screen again. On their Facebook page, a couple of things we can do. So this is Facebook Insights.
Yeah.
Just for Jane and Rail when they watch this video, but because it's not always as obvious. So across the menu there, you can't see the word Insights, but you click the word More, and it's in the drop down. So this is where we get to the insights, and this is what shows us what's happened in the last week or so. So you can see that 12 people went to the Facebook page by themselves. 800 and so people saw the posts. You can see most of that came from a promotion that I ran, but anyway, organic reach. Got one new like this week, which is not very many. Post engagement, the engagement's tailed off as the week's gone on, but got a lot of engagement, on the 15th. Some of the video views and whatever. So this was the one. So if we look at the posts for the last week, we can see the blue is when someone clicked on a picture to go through it, and the red is where people actually said something. So the blue is probably the most important box because that shows that people have watched the picture. It doesn't mean to say they've said anything or shared anything, but they've seen the picture. And then this was the one I put the money into on Sunday, which was the strategy sessions now available, which is a great photograph of them. So what we do is when we look at the data on this, it's telling us that we got 197 people engaged. We reached 630 people. So we paid to reach them. So it's 13 cents a reach, which is not bad. But what we can do is when we go into this, you can see that more men than women clicked the post, which was kind of mystifying.
Wow.
It's like, why would they do that? So we need to look at that. And then we look at placements, and you can see that 98% of this came on the mobile feed of Instagram, which is what I wanted. And then a little bit on the news feed on the mobile app, and a tiny bit on the mobile web. Very few people, I don't think, would use that. But so we reached almost everybody through Instagram. I deliberately just picked California, Washington, Oregon. I had 29 to 44, and the interests were home birth, fit pregnancy, or pregnancy. So I just picked 3 broad categories just to push that through. And that's why more men? Because it says here, maybe the men are looking at it for their wives. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as if it's like a booty call photograph that men would want to click the picture to see more. It's not that at all.
Interesting.
I don't know why more men than women would have clicked this ad, because it was designed for women. Did I click? I don't think I clicked women only. That's possibly because I figured dads and moms want to see this.
But you never know. Maybe a husband or a father.
Exactly right. Yeah. So, and then we go through and okay, this post did better than average. So why did that post do better? And then we look at it, and of course I think I know the picture. Yeah, it's a real picture. There's Jay, there's the baby, it's black and white. It's emotional, right? 22 people loved the picture. But we got to get more emotion in the strategy in that respect, things like that. And then the other posts are okay. I mean, this one got a lot of engagement. So again, we go back and look at that one. Oh, same picture, but everyone's story is different. We want to put it See, that got a lot of engagements. A ton of engagements, in fact, 37. And this was all organic. We didn't pay any money on this one.
Oh, that's
So
pretty cool.
that was very, very cool.
Yeah.
5 o'clock at night might be a point or two, because we could look at when we
Oh, okay. Okay,
look
yeah.
at their gauge. I mean, on any given day, it's not that different. But looking at this, the ideal time to post would be around 8 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
sometime mid-afternoon, which is maybe when baby's in bed or whatever they're
Yeah.
getting ready to work, and 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So if we go through any given day, weekends don't change that much realistically.
Yeah.
But they would be the 3 times that we would prime post.
Mm-hmm.
One thing we could do, Anna, is let's go back. There is a section here where we can compare our page to other similar pages. We haven't populated, so Facebook's trying to give us one, but these are the wrong ones because these are based on their local area, and we don't want to compare to the local area.
Mm-hmm.
But if you remember back in the early days, they gave us 5 or 6 websites that they liked, that they thought.
Yes, yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So if we find the Facebook pages for those pages,
Okay.
so let's just, because it's saying here add pages. So let's just let's
I don't have my email.
Denise Noya Erez. What's there is a lady in Sassy that I knew who's a fertility doctor. So, and they have quite a good Facebook page. What, I can't remember what a Facebook page was called. Let me find it. So acupuncture and integrative medicine. So that would be a good page to follow, right?
Okay.
They're kind of in the same space. So if we then add in acupuncture and what was it, integrative medicine?
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be one of these.
Mm.
Integrative. Still haven't found it.
Maybe the top, but it has.
Anyway, this is fertile life. Why isn't it showing up? Let me find it. Acupuncture, integrative medicine. Okay, let's try and put that in. Because why is it still not coming up? Hashtag Denise. Okay, so let's put hash Denise. That's got to bring it up. Surely, there she is. Okay. So we'll watch her page.
Okay.
And then we might put in, what did we say, mother care? Was that British one that we looked at? Babies R Us is another one, right? Babies R Us. What was that? Was it Kayla Gray, her name? The photographer lady.
Yeah.
How do you spell her name? Do you remember? Was it Kyla Gray? We shared a post of hers the other day, didn't we?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find. Oh, come on. Nope. Oh, come on. What was it? Austin birth photos. There she is. So Kayla, that's it there. Kayla Gray. Okay. So K-U-I-L-A. Oh, that's weird. Why isn't it coming up? What's her page called again? Oh, Austin birth photos. That's what it is.
Okay.
Duh. Austin birth profession. No, Austin birth photos, wasn't it? Oh, maybe it's all one word. No. It was Kayla Gray. That's the weirdest thing. I wonder if I could copy and paste the get this down. But you know, it is Austin. Let's see if I can copy it. I might be able to copy it in. There it is. So now we've got some pages to watch. So we could look at, we've done more posts than those other pages. We've got almost the same reach, but this is where you're going to find quick and easy. Ideally, we want 10, and you can just keep adding pages into this.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to the 4 or 5 other people they said early on that they appreciated and liked,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we could just put in keywords and just see what comes up. But pregnancy, maybe. Your pregnancy options. See, it's picking up local stuff for me. Pregnancy and Children's Clinic. Mom junk. Oh, there you go. Let's watch that one. See what else we could put in. You'll see why I'm doing this in a minute.
Okay.
Pregnancy. There's a community there. If I go to birth. No, it's too small. Birth. Babies. I'm just looking for pages. Cutest babies. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's see. Okay. So now we've got 10 pages. We're number 6 out of 10, right?
Okay.
So if we go to like pregnancy,
Mm-hmm.
we go to pregnancy and we can, what it does is it ranks the most popular posts in the last week for us.
I see.
So when mother is alone, when she visits the doctor, I mean, look how many, right? So we could grab that and share it.
Okay.
Like, how true is this, right?
Yeah.
And then we're actually getting the juice, they call it Facebook karma, of this page, because
Mm-hmm.
they're so popular on our page. Because
Okay.
that totally fits in. The next one here, it's another, oh, your baby is so cute. Look at them. Oh, please don't touch him. Do you smoke? I smell cigarettes. Seriously, get away. So, you know.
Yeah.
Again, you know, getting this tired and then there's pregnant tired. Babybumpapp.com, the app for pregnancy. Maybe we could look at that and see what Rayon and Jay think, and maybe we could recommend people download that app.
Okay.
So when people ask me how far I am, and you say it's been 84 years. So this is humor, right? And the closer you get, the longer the days get.
Yeah.
I mean, even like there is a really good Facebook page in Langley. It's called Forever Yours Lingerie. I don't know if you've ever been there. They have fantastic social media, and they have a lot of what do you call it, feeding bras and things like that.
Oh wow.
So we could look at, why didn't that come up? I added it, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay, did not come up. Let me just
Forever, just down. It's it is there actually. Just down there forever.
Yours lingerie.
On number 6.
Oh, it is there. Yeah, you're right. Okay. I guess. Okay. So then if I look at the 13 posts, and I know this lady, her name is Sonia.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a snow day. She had right? Because they're mainly bras, but you know what she's referring to.
Yeah.
And then there's this sports bra, but they did it with 6 different body shapes, right?
Okay.
What did the bra say to that? You go on ahead, and I'll give these 2 a lift. It's kind of funny, right?
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
Video, underwear. I mean, these are all the kind of posts that they've done. It's bridal, but we could maybe go back on the page. Maybe we could do a Facebook Live with Sonia, who I know really well, and Jay and Rion about talking about the right kind of bras to wear during pregnancy. I mean, obviously breasts grow. I mean, when do you need more support? When do the Lacenza bras stop becoming, solid? And do you go to a sports bra? When do you go to a nursing bra? I mean, that would be a really good blog and Facebook Live.
Yeah.
We could ask her to guest blog for us on, bras through pregnancy. Does wearing a bra make you have more support or less support?
Hmm.
There's school of thought that says not wearing a bra actually gives the breast tissue more firmness because it has to hold itself up rather than the bra constantly supporting it, so that the tissue doesn't need to be as strong, from what I understand. I
Mm.
don't know. I have
I
no
don't
answers
know
to
about
these things.
it.
I'm just asking rhetorical questions.
Yeah, yeah,
This could all work into the social media, right?
yeah.
So by going through those pages to watch now, we're
Hmm.
going to see what's working for them on their strategy. And
Hmm.
through that, then we can come up with ideas, and then you can instantly share that post. So you don't even have to go looking. Those posts are going to be there for us because of
Yeah.
that. Just checking my messages again because I'm really surprised I haven't heard from these two, but something must have gone wrong because neither of them showed up, and they both knew we had the call. So
Okay.
because we even talked about what we're going to have on the call anyway.
Oh.
Like I'm surprised this photograph is allowed to show because it's nude. Am I sharing my screen?
No,
Sorry.
no, you're not.
Oh, did I stop sharing? Like on Kayla Gray's there,
Hmm.
I'm amazed that Facebook allowed that picture.
Oh,
Even though it's a birthing picture, it's showing
yeah,
a full breast, which is not Facebook's rules.
yeah.
And that's why this is here, because Facebook has said it's okay, but we just want to let people know first.
I see.
But as I say, going back to Sanctuary now, when we go through these pages to watch, you're going to find a ton of stuff like, oh, okay, Cute Babies didn't post anything in the last week. Let's just see if we go to Mom Junction Pregnancy, whatever this is. Picking a name for the baby. So they've written a blog on the perfect names. So if they're okay with it, maybe we could share that. We could talk about the top 10 baby names of 2020. All these different things. I mean, there's just no end of content
Oh,
once
yeah.
you start to get into that way of thinking, right?
Yeah, that's impressive though. Yeah. No,
Not my first rodeo, my dear.
yeah, you're pretty good.
So, Jem, pretty good.
You're very good. No, sorry. You know what? I shouldn't have even said that. You're very good.
It's okay. Yeah, so how about that? Is that a good tutorial?
Oh, that's very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've recorded it. We'll send it to the girls, let them watch it. But let's try and really up our game and try and get a shitload more
Oh, yeah.
engagement.
Yeah.
Because they need to practice these strategy sessions to know what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you book it. Maybe you literally go online now, if you don't mind. Go to the calendar, book one, and book it and say, this is Anna, but I'm doing it as if I'm a mom.
Okay.
And have them be that role play, right?
Yeah.
You can do role play. You've been a mom already. You can think back to Royce's birth.
Yeah.
And just sort of like whatever that was. Was that in Manitoba where you had him? I don't know.
Manitoba, yeah.
What the hospital experience was, but now you're in your 30s and you have money, and if you were to get pregnant again, what would that look like, right?
Yeah.
You want to find a man, you want to have another family, I'm guessing, in your life.
Yeah.
Let's just say you're further down that road and you want to do something about it. How could you do that, right?
Yeah.
And have a strategy session at the end of it. Give them feedback and say, you know what? Yeah, I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't have paid for that. Or you can say, I totally get it. I can see the value. I'd have dropped you $5,000 or gone onto a payment plan like straight away.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to hear that feedback, but they also need to practice to, basically it's what they call creating the gap.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm hungry. I need food. How do I get the food? That's the primeval brain signal.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's why we still have this hunter-gatherer mentality in our brain. Like if something moves, we can kill it.
Yeah.
And it's the same with the internet. If something moves, we'll watch it because our brains are wired because of hunter-gathering reflexes in our brain, which is why they sort of say that, the 0.3 of a second that people make a decision on a website is because the brain is, the primeval is like, I'm hungry, or I need to drink, or I need to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
They're the three basic, or I need loving, I need comfort, I need safety.
Mm-hmm.
What we've got to try and do is tap into those emotions in the web design and in the social media posts
Mhm.
to get people to engage. And if they engage and they like it, they'll stay.
Yeah.
Hence, know, love, trust.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know this stuff, but anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I'll close a little early because I'm only going to say hi to Jamie. Yeah.
Thank you so
Who knows
much.
what happened?
It was very helpful.
Okay. Maybe just Facebook Messenger. Say we did our call. We talked social
Okay.
media strategy. There's a video coming.
Yeah.
Please watch it and let us know what you think.
Okay, good. I'll do that.
Did you write? I'll stop the recording now. I want to ask you another question. I think I asked you to write. Oh, no, it's not. Hang on.